Preparing for a wedding is one of the most exciting times of life, but it can also be very stressful and hectic. Did you know that according to Fool.com, the Weddings Report's average cost for a 2022 wedding sits around $27,000. $27,000 for a wedding. I'll pass. Trying to get everything accomplished within a budget can definitely be a challenge, but it is possible. My wife and I worked very hard to have a wedding costing under $5,000. You heard that right, and I will share exactly how we made that happen and still had a fantastic and memorable wedding. Welcome back to the Beast in Your Fire Journey channel. If you find today's video helpful, please leave us a like and subscribe for more on our journey. So let's start off with my wife and I's love story. Shortly after returning from my LDS mission in Taiwan, I started my first semester of my bachelor's degree. I learned Mandarin Chinese during my 2 years LDS mission in Taiwan and continued taking Chinese courses throughout college. I am especially grateful for my 2-year missionary experience. Without it, I might not have found and married my beautiful wife, Sean. Both my wife and I were in the school orchestra at Utah Valley University. After class was over one day, I summoned up the courage to go talk to Sean and use my Chinese homework as an excuse to hang out. Pretty smart, right? Our first date was in September of 2015. We kept dating and getting to know each other very well. We grew closer and closer together and realized one thing, that we couldn't stand being apart. This became crystal clear when I transferred to BYU Hawaii for a semester, but was away from Sean. After the second time she came to visit me, I made the final decision to transfer back to Utah so I could be with her. In December of 2016, I proposed to Sean and thankfully she said yes. On May 6, 2017, we were officially wed. So why did we decide to cut expenses for our wedding? So Sean and I needed to save on wedding expenses mainly because we wanted to save up a down payment to buy our first home together. She would remind me that a wedding is temporary, but buying a house will benefit us for many years to come. Our plan then was to rent out our first property in the future. I would like to add that we were very fortunate to have received help with our wedding expenses from both my parents and in-laws, but they had a certain amount that they could each contribute. They did this to help my wife and I save up our own money for a down payment. We still created a budget for the wedding and made sure the total expenses were under $5,000. We did our best to keep things simple yet elegant, so we didn't have to go over our budget and didn't need to spend our own money. Let's remember together what Dave Ramsey said. Marriage is a partnership and couples can't win with money unless they budget as a team. So here you can see an overview of the categories for each of our expenses and how our total was only $4,655. Now I want to share with you the 16 ways that you can save money and find the best deals for your wedding. First, buy a wedding dress from overseas. As you know, wedding dresses can be a nightmare when it comes to the cost and can be so expensive in America. My wife, Sean, is from China, and she told me that the wedding dresses there are so much cheaper. To save money, Sean bought her wedding dress from China for only $250. The shipping cost about $100 because the dress was big and heavy. When my parents saw the dress for the first time, they thought it cost at least $5,000. After our wedding, my wife tried to sell the wedding dress, but we didn't have a whole lot of time, so we didn't find someone who was the right fit. But in the end, we decided to donate the wedding dress because we also needed to prepare to move and declutter. The nice thing about this is that the wedding dress was only a fraction of the cost in America, and donating it was the right choice for us to help another bride have a beautiful wedding. This next one is to use regular dress pants. Let's be honest here, who would even really care or notice if you wear regular black suit pants versus fancy tuxedo pants? We personally felt that it simply wasn't that necessary to buy or rent expensive black slacks. Instead, I purchased a white tuxedo suit coat at Men's Warehouse, and they had an awesome buy one suit coat, get one free promotion going on. The salesman is my dad's childhood friend, and that was a great help as well. I only purchased a suit jacket. I got another one free, and a blue boutonniere. And guess what? I just wore regular black suit pants that I had purchased from Walmart already in my closet. So after the wedding, I went and sold the tuxedo coat for $100. So actually the total cost was $100. So tip number 3 is to find affordable wedding rings. Okay, so get this. According to the 2021 Knot Jewelry and Engagement Study, the average cost of an engagement ring is currently $6,000. Only 8% of ring shoppers are spending under $1,000. Now this may sound crazy, but my wife and I's engagement/wedding rings only cost us $150. Mine was a $25 ring from Walmart, and my wife's ring was bought online for a little over $100. Let the judgments come. It's okay. We knew that having a lasting marriage and investing in assets together would be far more important than a diamond ring. Sean also saw some interesting news saying that diamonds are just a rock, but it's the marketing campaigns that make it sound and seem way more valuable. There are a lot of diamonds in the world, but a lot of times big companies try to control how much to produce each year. If interested, you can check this intriguing article I found in the description below called Diamonds, the Greatest Marketing Scam of All Time. To be honest, I couldn't be more happy and grateful to have a wife who focuses on building a financially secure future. And yes, at first I did feel bad for not getting her an expensive ring. Looking back at it now, we've had 3 real estate properties together and now have 2 beautiful children. Our relationship and cooperation have helped us find true happiness. My wife and I bought our groomsmen ties from overseas since they were much more affordable. My parents-in-laws helped us bring them over from China when they came to the USA for our wedding. The total cost for the groomsmen ties was just $10. There are many websites out there where you can shop, such as Wish and AliExpress. Remember though that the cheapest shipping usually takes a long time, so remember to prepare in advance. On to the next tip. Get cute shawls for the bridesmaids. So buying or renting bridesmaids dresses and buying flowers for each bridesmaid can be very expensive. My wife came up with the idea to have the bridesmaids just bring their own white dress. All we gave them was a pink shawl. You can see the outcome in this picture. Not too bad, right? If your bridesmaids don't have a certain color dress, they could always borrow one from a friend just for the wedding. Now the total for our bridesmaid shawls was just $20. Next is to look for discounts on your reception center. The reception center that we used for our wedding was on top of this mountain with big windows overlooking the valley in Utah. I got a pretty sweet discount because my brother was the HOA manager and I had worked there before as well. So the total was $150. This also included all the tables and the chairs in this one price. So don't be shy to look around for discounts and packages that are affordable for your budget. Other ideas include checking your HOA to see if they have a clubhouse or asking a friend or family member who has a large backyard to use. This next tip I love so much, and it's to hire a college quartet. Using this tip can save you a ton of money and give your wedding a very special feeling with live music. As mentioned before, my wife and I met in our school orchestra at Utah Valley University. We invited our classmates or friends from the orchestra to come perform. 4 of them happened to be in a quartet and they were all very skilled musicians. Thinking back and looking at videos, we definitely loved the beautiful music they played at our wedding. Money saving tip number 8 is to shop around for a wedding arbor or arch. A good starting place is to ask around to family and friends who recently got married to see if they were able to find a good deal. Finding an affordable wedding arch was one of the most difficult tasks for us. We almost gave up saving money on this because we couldn't find a very good deal. Fortunately, my mom walked around the store and found an arch with flowers and a delivery totaling $200. Next is considering a fake flower bouquet. Give yourself enough time and you should be able to find a beautiful flower bouquet at a good price. At first, we got a fake flower bouquet to help save money since the seller's pictures made it look so nice. But unfortunately, we didn't actually like it that much and realized that we should have checked other reviews first. So don't forget to check those reviews. My mother quickly caught on that my wife was not very happy with the bouquet. So she ran over to the flower store and booked a bouquet with real flowers for my wife. Don't get me wrong here, we still think it's a valuable tip to save you more money. Number 10 is to find a great deal on a wedding cake or even make it yourself. Obviously the best way to save money here would be to make the wedding cake by yourself, which could be a fun time for you and your future husband or wife to get to know each other and have that couple time. There are many tutorials and how-to videos online. We had some friends who made their own wedding cakes to save money, so you can ask around as well. Back when preparing for our wedding, we actually didn't have this idea to make our own wedding cake until after the wedding. Instead, we spent a lot of time looking for the best deal for our wedding cake. Everything ended up costing us $275 total, including the delivery fees as well. So you may be getting hungry by this point in the video. Sorry, this next tip is about food. Giving you a heads up if you want to skip to the next tip. So this money saving idea is to keep catering simple yet delicious. Keeping your catering service simple yet elegant can go a long way to save you money on your wedding expenses. The wedding food we had was simple, so it didn't cost too much. For lunch, we had some sandwiches and treats. For dinner, we just had some light refreshments such as a chocolate fountain with fresh fruit. Tip number 12 is to get creative with the tableware. Our wedding tableware was very simple. We didn't do anything crazy or too fancy. In total, we rented out white tablecloths, blue runners to go across the top, and pink bows for the chairs. We also had a taller wedding cake table with a shiny tablecloth. I want to add here that my wife spent a lot of time looking for the best deal. We picked it up ourselves and my parents returned it so we didn't have to pay delivery fees. Number 13 is to find a college photographer. There are many incredible college students studying photography for their majors, and it's easier than you think to get an idea of their quality of work. You can ask for samples of their previous work and ask how long they have been doing photography. The price will be much better for your budget, being way more affordable than hiring a wedding company or some other professional. Our wedding photographer was a good friend from church. She was still a college student, so she did not charge a super high price. And we loved the photos. You can take a look yourself. This friend helped take our engagement photos as well. So in total, she charged us $600 for the wedding and $100 for the engagement photo shoot. Many students or new photographers need to build up their profile, so they will charge a lower price or even take your pictures for free in some cases. I really like this next tip, which is considering digital invitations or keeping paper invitations smaller and more simple. Using digital invitations can save you a large chunk of money. My wife and I really wanted to do online invitations since the price would be much lower or even free in some cases. My parents, however, are a little bit more traditional in their thinking, and so they wanted the paper kind. So we went with the paper ones, but kept the dimensions smaller to save on costs. Another great option is to release that inner creativity and make your own invitations using crafting supplies. Have fun. On to money-saving tip number 15. Do-it-yourself decorations. You'd be surprised how easy it is to create an elegant wedding with homemade decorations. The decorations for our wedding were very simple, and we did a lot of decorating by ourselves. Here's an example. We would put our string instruments on display. This was a reminder of how we met in orchestra class. Having lots of pictures is one of the easiest and most affordable ways to decorate. And tip number 16 is to find a discount on a wedding makeup artist. If you or somebody you know has makeup experience, you can always save money doing it yourself. Otherwise, there are definitely ways to find an affordable wedding makeup artist. My wife preferred to have a professional do her makeup for our engagement and wedding photos. The makeup artist we found was a friend's friend, so we received a great discount, each time only costing $50. They also drove out to our house, which was so convenient. If we were able to set this budget and keep wedding expenses under $5,000, you can certainly do it too. Through hard work and perseverance, my wife and I were able to save up a $20,000 down payment for our first property. For more on this story, check out this video.